Welcome to Unit 2, Understanding Causes and Influences of Gender-Based Violence. This section's learning objectives are following a review of gender-based beliefs and assumptions that influence GBV. Participants examine how masculine and feminine stereotypes contribute to GBV in two social spheres, personal relationships and education. Recognizing gender-related risk and inequalities, participants propose two reasons why protecting the rights of the child is a national and local priority. After analyzing situations that violate children's rights, participants identify two international or national rights that advance gender equality and empowerment for girls and boys. Let's talk about the first part, which is how gender role stereotypes might affect personal relationships. As we discuss student-friendly schools, the context is related to school situation. Here is a situation that happens in a school setting. Nina and Yanto are students in your class. They are 13. Nina's body is beginning to change, and Yanto likes to tease her, especially when he is with his friends. You can see that Yanto makes Nina feel uncomfortable. After class, you hear Yanto's voice, and as you approach a group of students, you realize that he is making fun of Nina's breast. Nina is silent, looking down at her shoes. Is this situation familiar to you? Is it considered masculine for a boy to joke about, tease, or humiliate girls? How does this type of behavior affect girls? Gender role behaviors such as harassing girls are learned from family members, community role models, music, television, and other media. Boys might associate some attributes with being a man or being masculine based on what community or media teach them. Likewise, girls also associate some attributes with being a woman or being feminine based on what they learn from community members or media. These are some examples of attributes. Being masculine is associated with being aggressive, adventurous, and assertive. Being feminine means obedient, timid, and passive. Remember that in the previous unit, we discussed how individuals' attributes and behaviors vary and do not only conform to social norms and customs. A boy can have feminine attributes, just like a girl can have masculine attributes. However, given the fact that gender stereotypes like boys should be masculine and girls should be feminine are a broad generalization, we will explore how these attributes may contribute to inequalities, vulnerabilities, and violence in schools. In the scenario previously presented, how do you think gender stereotypes might influence Nina and Yanto? Now, let's have a look at how gender role stereotypes affecting education. To prevent and respond to gender-based violence, we must recognize and address gender-based risk observed in our classrooms and schools. Imagine the school-related behaviors of an aggressive, adventurous student. A particular student may come to mind. Now imagine the behaviors of a timid, passive student. Picture the contrast. How do these students behave? How might these behaviors influence their education opportunities? Here is an example of masculine and feminine attributes teachers might find in class. Beliefs and statements. Which ones do you agree with? As we discuss girls and boys, we cannot leave behind the rights of children. The United Nations declared Convention of the Rights of Child in 1989, and until today, all countries except the United States have ratified the convention. Watch the following video to understand more about CRC and Indonesian legal base for fulfilling children's rights. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child addresses specific rights and obligations related to girls and boys, particularly education, health, and safety. Many of the articles are related to education and gender equality. For example, Article 2 about age range of children, Article 3 about no discrimination, Article 12 about the right to give opinion, Article 16 about the right to privacy, Article 19 about being protected from hurt, Article 28 about education and discipline, Article 31 about the right to play and rest, Article 34 about freedom from sexual abuse and exploitation. Children's rights are not a threat to the authority of adults. Their rights come with responsibilities. For example, children have the right to be treated equally. This means that they also have the responsibility to treat others equally. Children have the right to be protected from abuse. This means that they also have the responsibility not to harm each other. Children have the right to education. This means that they also have the responsibility to learn.